So I'm with Al Rich, who owns patents on solar collectors, solar water heating systems, and you've now integrated solar electric with your designs. And I'd like for you to explain to people that maybe don't know anything about solar,
Sure.
Why solar is important.
Okay. Well, here at ACR Solar Roofs, we do three kinds of solar. We do solar pool heating, which uses kind of a mat on the roof. We do water heating, which is the collectors that we manufacture here. And then we do solar electric, which are panels that convert sunlight to electricity. What's important about it is that once you make the investment, it's free energy from that point on. And the initial investment, just once you get past that, you're dramatically contributing to reduced pollution. You've got your own energy efficient power plant. So you've really got a level of independence. You fix your costs, which is a really nice thing, especially for retired people to have fixed costs and not have to worry about price increases. The technologies are, the pool heating and the water heating are very similar from the standpoint of just creating heat. That's all it is. You're taking solar short-wave radiation, it hits the surface, turns to long-wave radiation, which is heat. In the case of pool heating, you don't need to have a glazing or covering, so it's very, very inexpensive. It's very cheap. But it can save huge amounts of money over time. If you were trying to heat your pool, for example, with gas, you can extend your season by several months. So if you got a $40,000 hole in the ground with water in it, and you can only use it for a couple months out of the year, and you can spend another $5,000 to $8,000 and double the time you can use it, it's a pretty good investment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why solar pool heating makes so much sense. And as most everybody who has a pool, has a solar water pool heater for good reason. And then the solar water heating, which is basically a collector similar to a pool system, except for it usually has a copper absorber and it has a glazing, and that helps to increase the temperature. Pool heater, you only need to worry about getting the temperature up to like 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Mm-hmm. Water heating, you want to get to 140 or more. So you need a glazing to keep from losing the heat. So it's a little more complicated, a little more expensive, but it does the same function, it saves money. In the case of electricity, somebody who has an electric water heater, it's such a no-brainer because electricity is so expensive. Yeah. And so its return on investment can be in 5, 6, 7 years.
What about net metering? Does that happen with SMUD in Sacramento?
Well, that you'd be talking about solar electric. Okay. Which we're getting to.
Okay. All right. So because that really helps the return on investment.
Absolutely, yeah. So and solar electricity has gotten down to be such a low cost per watt now. I mean, it's down to anywhere from a $4 to $6 range, where the PV panels themselves used to cost $4 to $6, let alone installing them and doing it. So the cost has gotten down so much. And PG&E, with our prices, which are much lower, frankly, than many, we're able to see in PG&E return on investments in the 6 to 10-year range. In SMUD, with much lower rates, we're able to see return on investments in the 9 to 12-year range, which is pretty good. And yeah, it's much better than any other investment you can make.
Sure, and it adds value to the home.
And that is very significant. Thank you, Alex, for mentioning that, because the increased value to a home is very important. The Real Estate Association has actually statistics that shows, and I'm not sure if I have this number right, but for I think every dollar saved, it increases the value of the home by $20. So on a yearly basis, that's a pretty good number. Mm-hmm. Adds up, and so the purchase, if you look at it from increased value, it's paid for the day you buy it, just from that standpoint.
Sure. Yeah. Especially if you plan on keeping the home for a long time.
Right. Yeah. Very, very true. So, well, actually, even just the opposite applies. If you sell it soon,
flip it.
You've got an increased value. So whether you have it for a short time or a long time, no matter how you cut it, it's a good thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about Sacramento as a place for solar? Doesn't it seem like the ideal place since we have so much sunlight here?
It's a very good place. Yeah. I love Sacramento, and it's a very good environment for solar.
Then we have like 300 days of sunlight or something.
Something like that. Yeah. It's very boring. All you see is sun across the weather forecast.
Yeah. But it's ideal, especially now. Does the heat play into it? The fact that we get these hot summers.
The interesting thing is, from a standpoint of heat, that actually can reduce the efficiency of a solar electric system. Heat is kind of the enemy of efficiency. Now, one of the neat things is my fourth patent, the MegaMat. We've actually been installing that underneath electric systems, and using that energy to heat either pools or water, hot water. So that's our latest innovation. In fact, we've got that under test now. That actually cools the panels and makes them run more efficiently. So you actually create hot water and you make it's called PVT, photovoltaic thermal. So that's some of the latest stuff that we're doing. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting that you've combined PV with solar thermal, because at one time they were kind of considered separate technologies.
Right.
But the fact that you're integrating it provides an all-in-one solution for people who want solar.
And we're doing it cheaper, better, faster.
Okay.
So it's going to be fun to move ahead with that.
All right. So what do you see as the future for solar? Does solar keep getting more efficient and just a better deal for people?
The future for solar is excellent, and I encourage everybody to take a serious look at it if you haven't already, and we'd be very happy to help with that.
All right. And then the thing about net metering, is that something that applies to Sacramento? Can people make money back by selling power to the power company?
There's some new laws that are so new, I haven't even had a chance to really look at them, that allow you to have increased system sizes. But generally speaking, you really don't want to do that, because you're then going to be trying to eat away at your lowest cost tier. And when you do that, you increase the return of the time it's going to take for a return on investment. You really want to cut your peaks. You don't necessarily want a big system. You want to kill the most expensive tiers.
Okay.
Yeah, and in PG&E, those can go over 30 cents.
Okay.
So you really want to get rid of those, and that makes a very fast return. So the higher your bill is, that means the more high tiers you are. So you want to shave those off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then very quickly, Al, could you explain your relationship with SMUD as far as the rebates that people get?
Right. Good point. Yeah. Well, we're SMUD, on the SMUD program for a SMUD approved contractor, and with that, we were able to give people a $1,500 rebate for solar water heating systems. Which is a really good thing. That's only for electric in SMUD.
Okay.
There's a PG&E program. We're with them too, but that only applies to natural gas. Natural gas is pretty cheap, but sometimes people just want to have the natural gas, bill cut down too. So, or just because they know it's going to be going up right now. It's kind of all-time record low. Just been a lot of gas, but that's going to change. So we have customers that have natural gas too. So, and also the electric, we're down to the last level right now. We're down out of 10 levels. We're down to number 10, so which is 20 cents a watt. But it's still 20 cents a watt. So if you have a 3,000, 6,000 watt system, that amounts to $600 to $800. So that's a nice little chunk of money, and we can help people get that.
All right. All right, great talking with you, Al.
You're welcome. Also, of course, the federal 30%.
All right.
Mention that.
Awesome.